Hey guys, Matt Bishop here. We are backstage at the Trocadero here in my hometown of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I'm here with Jesse and Brian from 10 years. Guys, what's going on?
Hey man.
How you doing, man?
I'm alright, I'm hanging in there. You know, it's a Sunday.
Yeah.
Good day for a rock and roll show.
Yeah.
Yep.
You guys are out on tour, the Cutting Like Knives tour. How's it been going so far, guys?
It's been pretty good across the board. I mean, we've been doing this, what are we, about 5 weeks in now?
Yeah.
So it's been a sort of lengthy tour, but it's been pleasing. I can't talk. It's all right.
You guys are out in support of the new album. It's came out back in July, minus the machine.
Yeah.
When I listen to it, I feel like there's a lot more going on
There is.
than previous records for you guys. I don't want to maybe say it was like an experimental or concept album, but you guys definitely tried some new elements this time around.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's what happens. Like doing it on our own. Having my studio was where we recorded this thing at, so it was like at any given time we could go in and start experimenting with stuff. A lot more time. You know, we weren't really under the gun as far as watching the clock every day, knowing we had to get out of there, you know, and we didn't rush through it. So this time we were able to experiment if we wanted to and stuff.
Yeah, and we didn't have people over our shoulders telling us how to write and what to compete with that's popular and out there right now. So we closed ourselves off and we just created what we wanted to create.
Is that a big deal for bands as far as, you know, going into the studio and writing a song, you know, writing a song that we're just gonna write, this is the idea at the moment and this is what it is, or trying to write something, well, I think this is a radio riff, I think we could get this, you know, some airplay, and then working around that concept?
It's always, for us, we never really liked trying to go in with the idea of writing a single, and we've had to in some scenarios in the past, and it takes the emotion out of it, and us, it seems like you're chasing the trends instead of just doing what you want to do and what comes natural. We feel that the band that we should just create our music first and then let everyone else come together and decide on what should be singles after the fact. But going in first with a single in mind, it's just uncomfortable for us.
Yeah, it's tough to write that way. I think the artistic gratification really comes from just doing what you do, and then after the fact going, oh well, look, we have like 2 or 3 singles here.
Yeah.
You know, instead of really trying to write those. It's weird trying to write singles. I mean, we've been in that mindset before, and I don't know.
It puts more pressure on you because they're thinking that this song should be the ace in the hole, and it boxes it in and closes it in, and it keeps it from developing. The song should. We're the type of band that we'd like songs to develop, and then we can tear them apart and reconstruct them and get them to their full potential, regardless of whether they're a single or not. Just what's best for the song. And sometimes singles, you have to fit into a time frame of 3.5 minutes or less. Like, there's all these criteria that come into play that they want you to apply to it, that we feel like it kills the vibe.
I think I already kind of know the answer to this next question, judging from what you guys were just saying, but we all know you guys have moved from the major label to your own label for this record. What has this experience been like, you know, overall? Not just writing songs, but, you know, and the business side of things, touring, the whole nine.
So much better. It really is. I mean, it's just...
I hear that a lot.
Yeah, well, here's the bottom line is that we wouldn't be here today if we didn't have that major label deal, because that put our foot in the door, established the band. But now we're to the point to where major labels and rock and roll don't really mix anymore. It's not the same thing that it used to be. Nowadays, if you're in hip hop or pop, or if you're making gazillions of dollars, sure, major label and you are going to be best friends.
Yeah.
But rock and roll bands need to work and function on minimal amounts of money and try and get the biggest bang for your buck. And we have to be out here working hard all year, you know, around. We can't take big breaks or whatever, and it's just, now we're in control of everything, and that's the best way for our band to be, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely more work up front being your own label, but if you want something done, you can execute it instead of calling up the label and going, hey, we got this idea, and then it gets lost in the mix. Like, on a major label, it's much harder to get things executed and finished with something that you've started over here and it has to end up over here. It's harder to get done, but when you're your own label, there's no middleman. It's up to you to finish it. So it's harder work, but it's more gratifying.
Touring wise, the last time I saw you guys actually was last October at 48 Hours Festival. So obviously, huge festival setting outdoors.
Yeah.
Now this is the headlining tour, mid-level venues. What is the change in dynamic like for you guys as far as the feeling you get playing the show, with the crowd? Is it more of a connection at these smaller venues?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And especially headlining, it's like those people really know our songs. At those big festivals, there's a percentage of the people there that know 10 years. They're not going to know maybe every song, but they'll know some of the singles. People that come to these shows, they're like diehards.
Yeah.
They know every word to every song probably better than us,
There's already people lined up.
Oh, good.
And they're already getting yelled at. Guys up against the wall.
Yeah.
Let us in 10 years.
Nice. Well, yeah, and that's what we thrive on, man. I've said this in a couple interviews, but on this particular tour, we started playing some new songs that we hadn't played before, and we were wondering how they were going to go over live, and we started playing them, and I've seen like people in the audience crying over them, like freaking out, and I'm like, I think it's working. They're connecting. But that's the type of intimacy you get at these types of shows,
Yeah. It's definitely, we're an energy-driven band, and when we're in the club environments and we get that energy even closer and more direct, it fuels our fire. It's sometimes on the bigger festivals when you're trying to compete for people to even remember who played that day, it's harder to get the energy going, because they're oversaturated with all the bands playing. These, the energy's there to start with, so it makes it a lot easier.
What is it like? You guys mentioned dropping some new songs. You guys have a couple albums under your belt now, really getting into your career. What is it like now trying to sit down and make a set list?
I mean, I like to play a lot of the new stuff, and it's going over well, but we definitely know our fans want to hear, bits and pieces of the past as well. So.
Yeah, I always have to remind them, everybody's excited. We're more excited than anyone about the new album because we put so much labor into it and very anxious to get out and play it, but we have to keep in mind that a lot of people, it takes a while for people to digest the music, so they still want to hear stuff they already know. So it's a hard balance to find.
Well, what's coming up next down the pike for you guys? We have the tour now, obviously. We're on that for a little while longer. Any more singles? Any upcoming tours, for the winter?
I think we're shooting to have a new single out pretty soon with Dancing with the Dead. I know this is you get the first exclusive. We haven't announced.
Here we go.
So we might be in trouble, but that's what we're going with. So.
That's okay.
Yeah.
We'll deal with it when it comes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And then I think we finish out going halfway through December. We go on a cruise.
Shiprocked.
Yeah, shiprocked.
Shiprocked.
Yeah,
Excellent.
cruise thing, which is it's a love-hate thing because you're on the boat the whole entire time with everyone. And it's awesome, but you have to really sometimes just put yourself away because people always want to party with you, and
You have to try not to be an alcoholic.
yeah, you gotta go hide in your room because everyone that says what's up to you wants to buy you a drink, and it's like I would have
I can
100
only drink
drinks.
so many.
Yeah.
You just can't do that.
Yeah, it's like then you're expected to actually get up and play.
Yeah, no good.
No bueno.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much for joining me. I really
Absolutely,
appreciate it.
man.
10 years, ladies and gentlemen. The new album, Minus the Machine, is out now on Pale Horse Records. Go grab a copy if you haven't already. Call your local radio stations. Knives. Why am I drawing a blank now? It begins
Backlash.
with a T. Backlash. Isn't there a third one? I thought there was a third one.
Oh, what's
Singles.
Yeah.
There's Knives, there's Backlash, and then Dancing with the Dead's gonna be another one.
Dancing with the Dead is
Off of
coming
this
up.
New one.
I thought there was a third one. I guess I'm just making shit up now. But anyways, call your local radio stations, go pick up the album, and as always, crank it up.